What is the cost of living in Vancouver, Washington, and Clark County? That is what we're going over today. Hey, I'm Hannah Dubyne with Dubyne Realty Group here in Vancouver and Camas, Washington, and today I'm going over what the cost of living is here in Clark County. If you are thinking about moving to the area, you probably want to know what's it going to cost me to live there. So I'm giving you a breakdown of the basics today so you can kind of get an idea if it's somewhere you want to move or not. Let's jump into it. The first set of costs I want to go over is taxes. So for sales tax, yes, we do have sales tax in the state of Washington, and the sales tax ranges between 7.7% to 8.5% here in Clark County. That depends on which city you are in. And generally speaking, when you are more north in the county, it's less expensive, and the more south you are, the more expensive it is. Because more north is more rural and more south is more metropolitan. So maybe you're coming from a state where you didn't have to pay sales tax, and it is something to think about because that does add 8-9%, like that does add up on everything that you purchase. Over in Oregon, there is no sales tax, so a lot of times folks here will go over to Oregon for big purchases. A little hack there, but Oregonians are often startled when they come over to this side of the river. Another extremely important tax that you need to know about is that in Washington, we do not have a state income tax, which is absolutely amazing. This is one of the best benefits of living here. Oregonians and Californians whom I work with very often, they get a 5 to 10+% raise when they move to Washington because they don't have to pay that income tax, which is really huge, especially if you're a high earner. One thing I will say is that if you live in Clark County, Washington, but you work physically in Portland, not work from home, but you physically go into Portland or Oregon every day to work, you still have to pay the Oregon income tax, which kind of sucks, but that's their way of making sure that people are not getting out of all the taxes in every state. I love living in a state that doesn't have a state income tax because I'm pretty conservative with my dollars, so I don't like to spend a lot. I like to save or invest, and that just makes more sense in terms of saving on taxes. The other tax you need to know about here in Clark County is property taxes. Every state has property taxes, and here we are seeing tax rates around 0.8% to, in some of the really high income areas like Camas, 1% per year. So for example, you live in an $800,000 house. If you live in Camas, you're looking at like an $8,000 per year property tax bill. Property taxes here go to fund schools and other local initiatives, and this is just one of the realities of owning a home. Let's talk utilities. The first utility I want to talk about is the electric bill. So here in Washington State, we have a really awesome electric rate. Right now in Clark County, the rates are at about 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour, plus a $12 per month base charge per household. This is a great number because the national average is around 12.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So we're looking at about 35% less expensive than the national average. The reason this is because we're really close to water, so we have a lot of hydroelectric power here, and it doesn't have to travel very far to get to our homes. Time to talk natural gas bill. Now, this one can vary a lot per household depending on what in your house is gas. If your furnace is gas, of course your bill is going to be a lot higher if you have a gas fireplace or if you have a gas stove. Currently in Clark County, gas costs $1.05 per unit. I'm not exactly sure what the units are. It was kind of confusing, but I just want you to know that my gas bill for a modest 1,800 square foot house usually runs $40 to $80 per month depending on time of year and how much I'm turning on the fireplace. Internet here runs about $50 to $60 a month, and if you're going to bundle that with cable, I see prices that are $100 to $120 a month. I think that cable is really expensive, so I opt for streaming, but that's the price for internet and cable. Going out to eat here in Vancouver area, if you go to a local restaurant that makes decent quality food, you're looking at about $12 to $15 per meal, plus our sales tax. And if you're gonna go out for kind of a higher end meal, that's usually ranges between $18 to $28, seafood, steak, that kind of thing. And if you're gonna look at getting Chinese takeout or like teriyaki dinner, that's probably about $10 to $12 per meal. Okay, let's talk transportation. So here in Clark County, this is a pretty limited area for transportation options. We don't have a lot of public transportation. It's not super bike friendly for just getting around and doing everyday activities. It's great for like mountain biking and stuff, but not for daily. It's not very walkable, so most people use cars. I've gotten questions before about, are there tolls for the bridges that go between Oregon and Washington? As of right now, there aren't, and we sure hope it stays that way. The only bridge I know of nearby that charges a toll is Bridge of the Gods, which is out east in 𝐂𝐐EVA County. Gas for your car right now is about $3.50 per gallon. Obviously, this is a cost that varies greatly depending on economic conditions in the world. So I usually see it between $3 and $4 a gallon, but kind of right in the middle is where it is most of the time. If you're someone who thinks you're gonna commute to Portland or the Oregon side for work every day, this is definitely something you want to account for because that gas bill gets really high when you're sitting in traffic for an hour each way every day. Okay, let's talk about entertainment. So luckily here in Vancouver and Camas, we have a lot of free things to do, which is great. I do a weekly newsletter that goes out on Thursday or Friday. It has what's going on for the weekend in the area. So if you want to sign up for that, I'm going to leave the link down below in the description. Just go ahead and pop your email in there and it'll send to you. But we have a lot of fun things like concerts in the park, arts and crafts, kids, a lot of kids events in the summertime that are put on by like Parks and Rec and everything. We have First Fridays in downtown Camas. That's like an awesome community event for kids to come out, and it's got a theme and everything. We have some nice beaches. You just pay for parking in the beaches or on the waterfront. Lots of trails to hike on here, lakes to go to, hikes to go on, and for the most part that's free or super low cost. Our golf course in Camas Meadows, is about $25 to $45 per tee time, and if you want to go to the golf range, it's $6 for a small bucket of balls and $12 for a big one. If you want to go to a movie at the movie theaters here, that's probably going to cost you around $12 to $15 for a regular movie. If you want to go see an IMAX or one with the fancy like recliner chairs, you'll probably be closer to $20. So those are the main things that people ask me about. I hopefully touched on the things that are important to you, but if you have something else that you're wondering about what it costs here in Clark County, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you via text, call, or you can DM me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching this video today, and if you'd like to know more about living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington, please subscribe to the channel. I post a video every week, and definitely find me on Instagram if you want to see what my day-to-day life is like. I would love to connect with you there. All right, see you later.